Hello, how's it going? Uh, I just want to talk about the three ways hope changes the way you look at life. At least the three ways I've found that it changes the way I look in my life. And the first is kind of what I talked about a couple videos ago, like having a bottom up kind of view. So, yeah, that's humility and just being thankful and instead of like a top down like authoritative view. And this is really more kind of interpersonally, like with yourself. Like you can choose to give yourself credit for brushing your teeth in the morning or making your lunch the night before, setting your clothes out, whatever, um, and give yourself credit for those things. Or you can look at those things as like a top down kind of authoritative, like, oh, I should have done that. And when you forget to do it one night, it's, oh, I'm stupid, I'm this, I'm that. And no, just give yourself some grace, be humble, and accept, we're all human, we're all going to make mistakes. And just giving yourself that grace, because if you don't give it to you, nobody else will, right? Especially in America, jeez. Um, the next one is the it's kind of backwards to what the one I just said. So it is really having like a top down heavenly perspective. So just seeing things the way God sees them. Um, and this comes with time and just really understanding what people are going through, right? This just comes with experience. I've learned like not that asshole that cut you off today, like, they didn't mean to do it to you. They just did it because they had a bad day. Um, and you could, the person that spills coffee on you doesn't apologize, like, makes it your fault. It's just like, that's their problem, Just, and also remembering, like, God is gonna vindicate you, even in the little things, right? The person that cut you in line or whatever, like, he will vindicate you, and not and you really start to just laugh in those moments, and you really just, like, for me, like, I just thank God that I can have that experience and not have it ruin my day, because I know I used to be that person, but I know people still that, like, I mean, they could be having a great day and then they get cut off, and it's like their mood is totally ruined. You don't even want to talk to them anymore because of how nasty they are. Um, and not, you know, this isn't even Christian. It's just like, wouldn't you want to live through life where nothing like that affects you, right? Nothing like that can really get you down. And again, that comes from hope. Just hoping that things will be better. That person is really, like, sorry about that, even if they might not be. Just hope. Um, that's just constant, like, and you're taken care of, right? And you're hoping on God that He's gonna take care of you, that He hoping that He sees it and is on your side, and knowing that He will vindicate you. Like, that's real hope right there. Is that knowing of, God's gonna take care of you, and that's a heavenly perspective versus the worldly perspective where, something happens and you can just, I mean, throw a fit, throw a temper tantrum, and you feel vindicated because, oh, something bad happened to me, da 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 da, whatever, and sure, you might be right, but I'd rather be wrong and happy than right and miserable. And then the last one, which I think if anybody could master this one, this is like, this is a victory. It's I think a lot of us tend to look inward, look at ourselves. We look at all our shortcomings and all our flaws and all our screw ups and how we've affected people negatively, and we could just go around and mope all day, and then, feel bad for the things we've done in the past, and I don't mean like regret, but just like, man, I wish I didn't say that, or I wish I didn't treat that person the way I did, and then what we do is we try to, get the scalpel out and try to fix every little detail about ourselves. At least that's what I do. I try, because I'm a big fan of learning from your mistakes, right? Um, and because it feels like if you don't, if you keep making the same mistake over and over again, you're a lesser person. Um, you're not you're not wise. You're not a thinker. You don't think before you do stuff. Um, and I can really get super just meticulous and detailed in how I can get down on myself and the little things. Um, and there's definitely something to be said for discipline and improving yourself, but you can take it to another level. I think you know what I'm talking about. And that's really just looking at yourself and all the flaws and getting down on yourself, and um, versus the outward looking, versus hey, yeah, I've got a lot of problems, but God's got that. He's gonna cover. He's gonna address them when they need to be addressed, when they need to be addressed. But how can I help somebody else? How can I make somebody's day better? And not only will you find like you'll just be happier and people will like you, but you'll find that the flaws don't really matter. They really don't. You just when one of your flaws comes out, you just apologize and move on, right? And you try not to do it again. Obviously, you have it in the back of your head, but you know, the they become lesser. The thing we focus on is the biggest thing in our life, right? And I think that a lot of what the Bible teaches is just like focus on God. He's got you covered. Don't worry about your problems. Don't because you could focus on your problems that your problems become so big to you that you forget God's been here for a bajillion years and he knew this was going to happen, and just because you got a flat tire doesn't mean God doesn't love you. you know um, and it's really, especially today, it's so hard to be outward looking because we think people don't need our help. We think people have it together. Um, and in turn, we use that as like a jab at ourselves. Like, oh man, look at me. What have I got going for myself? But if you could, if I could, if we could, if everybody could just turn that focus outwards to how can I best serve others, like the world would be totally different. And it's so hard, right? Because of what I was saying earlier. Like, you feel vindicated when you do that. You feel righteous, and that's totally of the world. Because we don't need to fix ourselves. Like, we know we're broken. We can't fix ourselves, and God made us whole. And if we keep walking in the Spirit, and if we keep walking in love, and we keep trying to help others, we have a bottom up view of ourselves, a humble attitude towards other people. If we have a top down view from heaven, like, hey, none of this really affects me, none of this matters. It matters, but you know what I mean, like in the grand scheme of things. And then if you could be outward looking, like, man, I think you would just have so much more joy and happiness and way better relationships too. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I love it when you guys comment, and I love seeing the views go up. That's crazy. I honestly, when I started this, I just wanted to do like a journal almost, and seems like people enjoy listening to what I have to say, so I'm gonna keep talking. Thanks for watching. See you guys.